Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty Beyond 40. Today is my 8-week update video for my Tripollar Envig Edge device. So many of you have been asking me for my update, and it did take me a while to complete this test because I did it for 8 weeks. 3 times a week. I did it on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I put it in my calendar to make sure I didn't forget to use it. It only takes 4 minutes, so it's not a big time commitment. And now that those 8 weeks are up, I finished taking my after photos, so I'll be able to give you a comparison of my before and after photos. And I'm gonna tell you all about the device. I have a demo. Spoiler alert, I love this device. I love the results I've been seeing. Yes, I recommend this device. If you're new here, hi, my name's Trina. I'm 48 years old. I make videos mostly about beauty devices as alternatives to Botox and filler. So if you're interested in this topic, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram, where I post a lot of sneak peeks and demos of these new devices before I post about them on YouTube. I also have a private Facebook group with almost 30,000 members, all about beauty devices. So I will leave links to all of this down in the description in case you're interested. So first, let me tell you about the Tripollar Envig Edge. It is a fractional radio frequency device. I posted a Q&A video on my Instagram and TikTok before I started my 8-week test because I got so many questions about the device. So I'm gonna cut to that video here, since it's a very thorough explanation of the device. I got the information directly from the Tripollar team. So I'll play that now so you can understand what this device is and what it's doing to your skin. This is a fractional radio frequency device. So it does 2 things. It has one beam of energy that ablates the surface of the skin. So it's vaporizing the top layer of your skin to resurface it. That first energy emission creates microchannels in the skin for the second emission, which is the radio frequency emission, to travel down. So the first emission ablates the epidermis, the top layer of the skin, to create microchannels for the radio frequency to travel down into the dermis up to 3 millimeters down to deliver a pulse of heat that stimulates collagen to tighten your skin, to plump your skin, and to get rid of fine lines and wrinkles. So those 2 energy emissions are happening so quickly that it feels like one, but it actually is 2 different emissions right after the other, but it's so fast that it feels like one. You turn on the device at the bottom here, and there are 3 levels of radio frequency. So those are the levels of heat. You cannot adjust the first energy emission, which is the ablation emission. That's the skin resurfacing one. You cannot adjust that, but you can adjust the level of radio frequency. So I'm on level 3 here for an example, and then you push the button and it sends the 2 emissions almost instantaneously. I'll do it so you can hear it. It has a little beep to let you know it's happened. And you're placing it on your skin and you're pressing the button and it's delivering those 2 energy emissions at the same time. So the ablation that's creating the microchannels, and then the radio frequency emission that's going down to the lower levels of your skin, or the dermis. That's how the device works. And I got a lot of questions from people and a lot of comments saying that if I didn't feel it, it can't be working. Well, I did it on level 1 the very first time I used it in my post here. And that's because I'm very conservative when I'm testing out new devices. I didn't feel it at level 1, but as you move up to level 2 and level 3 here, you do start to feel the heat a little more. The reason I think I was focusing on the fact that I didn't feel heat is because with all my other radio frequency devices, I do feel the heat. Most of them get really hot, and you need to use a gel to conduct the radio frequency into your skin. While I was surprised that this device doesn't feel very hot, and the reason why is because that first emission is creating the microchannels for the radio frequency to travel down. So it doesn't need to get really hot. It doesn't need a gel. It doesn't need to travel down via the conductive gel. It uses the microchannels from the ablation emission. So that's why you don't feel the heat, because it's not heating up the surface of your skin. It's heating up the lower levels of your skin. So it makes sense that you wouldn't feel it as much as you would feel a traditional radio frequency device. So as I mentioned before, I just finished my 8-week test where I was using it 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and now I'm in maintenance mode. I will continue using it once a week to maintain my results. I have started my Lima laser test, and that test is going to be from 8 to 12 weeks of everyday use. So I'll be tracking the results of that device as well, but I'm always trying to isolate results of new devices. So while I was using this device for 8 weeks, I didn't use any other radio frequency device. But now I will be in maintenance mode and I'll be testing out the Lima laser. I won't be using any other laser on my face, neck, or back of hands while I'm using that Lima laser. So next I filmed a demo of how I used the device. It only took 4 minutes a day. There's no gel, so it's extremely easy to use. I really look forward to using this because how fast and easy it is. It is by far my favorite radio frequency device. I know that it's been very difficult for people to get because it has been sold out. You cannot currently purchase it in the United States because it's not FDA cleared. This is a new technology for at-home use, and so they don't have any FDA clearance. You can buy it abroad via the Tripollar global site or Sephora UK or the Amazon UK site. Those are the retailers that I know about where you can buy this device, but it has been sold out. So if I have any updates about it, I will make sure to put that information down in the description so you can click through to shop. So now let me show you the demo of how I've been using this device so you can see exactly how I do it. I always start by cleaning the head of the device with these alcohol prep pads I get from Amazon. There are 3 levels. I've been using level 3, and then this button is what you press as you stamp the device across your face. I move diagonally across my face and try to overlap a little bit to make sure I cover all the surface area of my face. And I didn't do a really great job of doing this on camera because I didn't have my mirror. So when you're using your mirror, make sure that you're covering all the surface area of your skin. And I'm speeding it up here so that you don't get bored watching me. I started with my cheeks and then I do my forehead. I do the other cheek area. I do the orbital bone and crow's feet. Then I do around my mouth and my jawline. And then I do the sides of my neck and the back of my hands. And the whole thing only takes 4 minutes, and then when I am done, I turn it off and I put the top back on the device for next time. And now I'm going to show you my before and after photos. One of the reasons why I was a little bit late in putting out this video is that it has been so cloudy and gloomy and rainy in Los Angeles this year. And when I took my before photos, it was sunny that day. I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for a sunny day in Los Angeles so I could get really good after photos to put together my before and afters, and it was just cloudy for so long. It's still been cloudy. I was able to get a window of time where the sun came out and I ran down to the window and took my after photos. So I have those put together now, but it did take me a while to finish those series of photos because it's really important to me to get really good before and afters so that you can see the results. And you know, if they don't look perfect, I get a lot of negative feedback on my videos. I want you all to know that I take it very seriously and I'm really trying hard to show really good before and after photos because I want you to see what these devices can do to a face that doesn't have any injectables, no Botox, no filler, and I want to give you an accurate, real representation of pictures with no Photoshop on my iPhone, and I try really hard. So in the photos, the results are quite subtle, and these devices are subtle. I'm not doing injectables, I'm not doing plastic surgery, so my face is not going to look drastically different. I'm looking for tighter skin, smoothed out wrinkles. Now I'm going to flip over to these pictures so that you can see how they look. So I know that the lighting is not exactly the same in these 2 photos, so I apologize. I did my absolute best, but overall my skin is so much smoother in the after photo. I see my jowls area is tightened up. There is a slight improvement around the corners of my mouth. My 11s and my forehead are smoothed out significantly, and my jawline just looks more lifted and tighter. Now, I don't see much of a difference on my neck in these photos. Moving to the side of my face, I definitely see that my skin is smoother in the after photo, but I didn't see much improvement in my hyperpigmentation and melasma except for my forehead. And I think that's because I always wear a hat when I go outside, so my forehead looks a lot smoother, but I didn't see a reduction of my hyperpigmentation as much as I'd like to, but there are some areas of my face where it's starting to break up a little bit, so I'll just continue using this device weekly and see if that will improve over time. Again, I see more smoothness and tightness around my jowls and the corners of my mouth. Moving on to the other side, again, I didn't see much reduction in my hyperpigmentation and melasma, except for my forehead. I did see a little bit more improvement there, but my skin is much
smoother and tighter, especially on my forehead and my 11s area, and my jaw just looks a little bit more defined in the after photo.
The other thing that I will say about the before and afters of using this device is that along the way of those 8 weeks, I would look in the mirror and my skin would just look so much better. Because this device is resurfacing my skin was looking really smooth. And I would look in the mirror and I can see the changes, and I can watch myself on videos and I can see my jowls looking tighter and my forehead area looking tighter. But I think it's difficult to show these results in photos. So a static image is much different from an actual moving video of my face. So when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, wow, I'm really, really, really happy with the results. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I think it is difficult to show these results with not being a professional photographer. I actually did not take before and after photos of the back of my hands. And as you can see, the spots are pretty dark still on my hands. These are so stubborn. But what I have noticed on the back of my hands is that they're so much smoother. I am just so happy at how much more youthful and smooth the back of my hands look. I don't know what I'm gonna do about these spots because they're just not going away. I am testing out the Lima laser to see if I can get these spots to lighten up, but that's not gonna show up for like at least another 8 more weeks. So I'll report back on that. I also used it on the sides of my neck, and I didn't see any difference in the before and after photos, but a lot of people have been commenting lately on my social media on how smooth my neck looks. So maybe it did make my neck a little bit better. I just don't really notice because my neck hasn't really been an issue for me. So I wonder, what do you think? Do you think my neck is looking better? The other questions that I was getting, or comments, is that I should not be comparing this device to the Morpheus 8 or to a similar in-office treatment that combines radiofrequency and microneedling. The reason I did that is because I was trying to convey that the concept is the same. What the device is doing is the same as radiofrequency and microneedling. When you go into the office and you get that Morpheus 8 treatment or something similar, yes, there are needles that is creating that first step where it's creating those microchannels for the radio frequency to travel down. In this case, there are no needles, but it's still creating the microchannels. So it's step 1, resurfacing your skin, creating the microchannels, and then step 2, the radio frequency is traveling to the lower levels of the skin, stimulating collagen and tightening the skin. So it's doing the same thing, but just in a non-evasive way. So that's why I was saying it was similar to that type of technology to help you understand, what is this device doing? I was trying to do something conceptual that would help you to understand. There were a lot of questions and a lot of confusion that people had around, what about my other radio frequency devices? This does not replace your other radio frequency devices if you already have them. This is a different tool that does skin resurfacing and radio frequency in one tool. I have my Tripollar Stop VX, for example, that combines radio frequency with DMA/ELV, which is a separate mode that tightens up the muscles of the lower portion of your face. So I like to use it on my jowls area. So there are different devices that do different things. And yes, you can incorporate this tool with an existing radio frequency device you have, but you need to alternate, because you definitely need to give your skin a rest. If you like the results you're getting from your other radio frequency devices like your NUA or your Tripollar Stop or your Tripollar Stop VX, you can keep using those and then use these on alternating days. The Tripollar team let me know that you could use this Envig Edge on Monday and then take a day off. And then on Wednesday, you could use your Stop VX. And then on Friday, you could use the Edge again. And then on Sunday, you could use your Stop VX. So you can alternate it in if you were to get this device and use it with your other radio frequency devices. This device can be used, yes, on the face, neck, back of hands, but don't use it on your chest. It's not a body device like the Tripolar Pose or the New Body, so it's for the face, but I am gonna make the exception to do it on the back of my hands to see if I can get rid of these spots. This device is not a laser. It is not microcurrent. It is fractional radio frequency, which offers skin resurfacing and skin tightening. Can I get it in the US? No, this device is currently not available in the US. Can I use it on the crepey skin underneath my eyes? And the answer is yes. You can use it along your eye area, but just don't go above the orbital bone. Be really, really careful not to get it too close to your eye. See how I'm getting it like right underneath the eye on the orbital bone where that crepey skin would be, and your crow's feet even. Can I use it if I have darker skin tone or hyperpigmentation? The answer is yes. And that was another question that came up. Are there clinical studies? And there are, but they're not published yet. So they'll be on the Tripollar site soon. Can I use it on men's skin? Being that it's usually generally thicker, will it work? And Tripollar said yes, just make sure you're clean shaven so that the device has a clean surface to work on, and it will definitely work for men as well. Someone asked, can it be used on the eyelids? The answer is no. And then someone else asked this question I get all the time, will this cause facial fat loss? The answer is no, it only goes 3 millimeters deep. That is well above the fat layer, so you don't have to worry about an at-home device like this reaching the fat layer. People get confused because the in-office treatments like the Morpheus 8 has a setting to reach the fat layer, and people have reported some bad experiences with those in-office treatments. And I think if you are working with a provider that has the wrong setting on or is not trained well, or I don't know, they've just are doing it wrong on your face, they could cause you to lose fat in certain areas where you don't want them to. These devices don't have a fat layer setting, so you don't have to worry about that. They only go 3 millimeters deep. So that is it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, do you have an Envig Edge, or are you planning to get one when they come back into stock? Or if you're in the US, do you have it on your wish list for when it does launch in the US? If you found this video helpful, make sure to share with a friend, leave a comment, leave a like, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!